All right. First and foremost, we're gonna turn and face east. We're gonna give all praises and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash.
and double honors to the Apostle Edwards and GMS. Salutation to your brother pushing word of truth. Truth into sinful corners. We GMS Mississippi Camp. Tonight we're gonna listen. Time is winding up. I'm gonna let the brothers take over.
Okay. Time is winding up. You know, the time is winding up. I know y'all probably saying the time winding up. Don't you mean down? Nah, time is winding up. You got it, bro.
It says time is winding up refers to the ending of operations of a business by settling debts, the liquidation of assets, and distributing any remaining proceeds to the shareholders of the corporation.
Hey, what you think? You think about America and you think about elect. This place is going down. This place is getting liquid. This place is getting liquidated. You know, and it's gonna become what it is gonna be liquid. This place it's gonna melt with fervent heat. You know, this place is on a time limit. This place has an expiration date. Also,
First Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watching to prayer.
The end of all things is at hand. It's close. It's in arm's reach. You know, it's in arm's reach. So what? You got to be mindful. You got to be mindful of the times. You got to be mindful of the prophecies of what's going on, how things are moving. You know, you have to be mindful of these. What? Because when you're sober, that's when you're most mindful. When you're inebriated, what? You're not that mindful. You know, only thing you're concerned of is the things that are in front of you. When you're inebriated, you know. But when you're sober, you're aware. You're aware. You're almost paranoid, especially in this kingdom. Because what? This is the valley of the shadow of death. Death is around every corner. You know.
If I may, it said the ending of a business. This Esau's kingdom is just a part of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's plan. But once that Esau's corporation becomes to an end, the Lord just liquidated all. And who does it go back to? Who's the ultimate shareholder? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And he's gonna split his shares amongst his brethren. So it's the end when we're talking about winding up. We're talking about Esau's whole kingdom. Not just Babylon the Great. We're talking about everything that this nigga was a part of, everything that he got his hands on. The Lord about to liquidate all that. And how you liquidate something? The fire. Like you were going into. I appreciate it.
You got it.
This is Mark 1:15. And saying the time is fulfilled, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. Repent ye and believe the gospel.
It's at hand again. And it's arm's reach. Look, the end of this place is in arm's reach. Or the time of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is at arm's reach. You know what? What you think about when you think of that? Jacob held the hill of Esau. You know, is everything? The ending and the beginning is at arm's reach, hands reach. You know, this thing once this thing ends, a new thing is beginning. A better thing is beginning. You know, Scripture says that. So wait, we must be aware of these prophecies. And the only reason you're not aware of these prophecies is that because what you don't believe or you're not mindful. You're caught up in this world, you know, or you're fascinated with Esau, Edom, and his little miraculous things he got going. You know, these are lying wonders. You know,
You said it's at hand, meaning that it's within arm's reach. This is Romans 13:11. It says knowing the time is now at high time, awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
It's nearer than we believe. You know, it's close. It's very close. Once things start happening, it's not gonna slow down like birth pains. Once that contraction start going, it's just gonna get worse and worse and quicker and quicker and quicker. You know?
Verse 12. For the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light.
I mean, you broke that down once. You can do it again, Baba Shaw.
Yeah, so when you go into that time, when you read it, those putting off the day or putting off the night. Because at nighttime, that's when, Rome had a nightlife. That was full of wickedness, debauchery, partying, worshiping idols, lewdness, So Apostle Paul was saying, look, put that off, because those same Romans, he made a analogy dealing with the Roman soldier. Those soldiers, they would go party at night, but in the daytime, they would have to be on point and get on their duty. So he was like, put the night off, and put on the armor of the Most High, as if you're putting on a new duty. So you're putting off the old wickedness, but then you're putting on the armor of Yahushua, which is our duty now. So we have to operate, like upstanding soldiers for Yahushua, okay? Instead of that night mode, which our people, they stay in night mode 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
That debauchery, party, lewdness, it's just that constant, night mode, that lust culture. You see, you got
because the things our people used to do in the dark, they doing it in the broad daylight. People used to just little carnal stuff. People used to rob in the nighttime, not rob in the daytime. They doing little nasty stuff in the broad day for the media. Things they used to do for night hidden, it's all open. This place is a defiled, evil place.
People killing, they don't care. They don't care.
That's just how much more this place is increasing wickedness. The scripture also says, because because wickedness is abound, the love of many is going to wax cold. When we talk about wickedness being abound, that means it's going to be so high of an increase of wickedness to that, the people who anybody outside of this, they can't be trusted. That's just me speaking for myself. Anybody outside of this here, I can't trust you. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah already told us the wickedness is going to be so high to the point where, hey, it could be your mama, it could be your brother, your sister, your daddy, anybody who you think of, they not in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. You see Matrix, right? When he was taking Neo through there, and he had the woman in the red dress, he was like, turn and look again, and she was an agent. That was showing you that, look, any one of these people can be your enemy. You don't know that, how they look on the outside and all that, they're cool, but man, all these people are just little demons. If they not a part of Yahweh Shema Shah, and if they not a part of this here, hey, you cannot be trusted.
I got one for you. Got to scroll down too, because it talks about that. Yahweh Shah spoke about that very same thing. The one you say I'm gonna send in variance, the father against the son, and mother-in-law against Khan, because as the brother was speaking on, that's what's gonna happen. Because Yahweh Shah also said, who is my mother and who is my brother? Those that do the will of my father is the same as my mother and my brother.
This is Matthew 10:34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace on earth, but a sword.
A sword.
For I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household.
Man's foe shall be they of his own household. Because what scripture you think about? He said a man is not a prophet is not accepting his what? It's on his own house. What? What? So you're gonna have the people of your own family, your own kinsmen against you about what you believe for Yahweh's name's sake.
What did Yahweh say? I come not to send peace, but a sword. A sword is an instrument of war. So let you know, he ain't coming back with hugs. He ain't coming back with the Christian church teaching. Everybody gonna be all right. He coming back and we all gonna be loved, and we gonna only the elect is gonna meet them in the sky. First of all, but the point of the matter is, it's not finna be no big hug service and party. And no, it's finna be a certain type of party that got a whole lot of bloodshed. That's why he said,
sword. You go into a sword also. It's word like a sword. Because you go, what has us divided with our family? It's word. So what does a sword do?
Divide.
Yahweh Shai, like, I came as a sword. He intentionally caused division. He already knew his teaching is gonna cause division, man. You see? So you go into the sword of Yahweh Shah before the destruction, it's gonna be a sword of division, which is his word.
You know, when he teaching, they got mad at him. He was teaching. So
yep.
Brother saying.
They say, is he not the carpenter's son also?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, some believe and some didn't. Every time he spoke, it was a division. Just like now when we speak, it's a division. You know, you got the believers, you know, and you look at all the believers, well, most of the believers are what? Being cut out from their family. Like this sword cut you out like a clean cut. You see? This word to trim you out of your family, separate you. You know, it's like a good swordsman. He know how to like that. Cause like Peter, when he cut that guy ear off, you know how good of a swordsman you gotta be to cut somebody ear off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's how this word is. This word is surgical, man. It'll etch you out. These precepts will trim you out, you know, your family and separate you and bring you over here to your house shop.
It's just back up how the word is. The word is likened unto a sword. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing asunder of the soul and the spirit.
The word asunder goes to that divide. You know, whenever you cut something asunder, well, you cut it, you separate it. You cleanly separate it, man. So this word, you know, it cuts away the bad and separates the good. You see? Then it says it concerns your intent in your hearts. But when you bring precepts out, you really gonna see what somebody about. You know, it don't matter what they stand for, what type of platform they got. They can be this do good citizen. If you start bringing precepts out, that's when you're gonna get the real. It's gonna, because the precepts gonna hit some points.
Yeah,
Gonna cut them.
Hurt the feeling.
Yeah, it's gonna hit some certain points.
I don't think hurt the feeling. No, not hurt the feelings. Fuck the feelings. Like it's like it hit them like because because but they know what they're doing wrong. When the preacher come out, bam, hit them. Oh, it hurts you.
Because he said we were talking months ago. You like when you bring them precepts out, the word of the precepts are a sword. So when you cut into that flesh, you seeing some stuff you ain't never seen. So when a person start acting out like that, that's always been there. It just nothing ever got down to that. So when you start bringing out the precepts cut through all the bullshit, and they get down to exactly the real person or the intent or who they is.
They say the intent too. It goes into that inner. Let me get this word intent real quick because that stick out to me. You know, their intention. You know, because people don't really just broadcast their intentions like that. You know. Yeah. So and because it'd be a hidden, they hidden man. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, so and like you said, that motherfucker bleed out. They bleed out what they really
their representative bleed out. Yeah. That's the word. It's a lot because when you meet a person, they got their representative out there. Their persona. So you get you know how sometimes you answer the phone back in the day, your mom answer the phone, somebody she put that voice on and everything like that.
Hit you with that praise guy, hello?
Yeah, but soon the phone hang up, that persona gone. What the precept do? The precept cut through all that. It get through all of that. And we finna get down to the nitty gritty.
This is the word intent. It says this is a it goes in technology and computing basically. It goes into a core message or object. No, that's not the one I want. I want to go right here.
Intent.
This intent.
Okay. Intent.
Yeah, intent goes into a mental purpose. The aim or state of mind driving in action.
Your intent, your intentions. You know, what's really your drive?
Yep.
You know, because if you want America to go on, well, the scripture's going to expose it. Okay, if you're okay with the so-called white man, all right, ruling the earth, well, the scripture's going to expose it.
That's that why. Yeah. Why are you so driven with this? You know,
like trying to get to go to your house. Like, what's your intention? You know what your intention is. Turn that ass up. That's your intention. It sounds like you're saying. It's what it is.
Finish out the precept. It says, and it's sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit and the joints and marrow, and is discerning discerning of the thoughts and the intents of the heart.
Cause like as the elder was talking about, as Yahushua cutting you out, you know, because what they gonna get offended with you keeping the law. Oh, like why you don't eat pork anymore? You know, why you ain't going to church anymore? What? Oh, you being over righteous. You know what? They get offended. Because of what? They know they hurt. Especially when you started bringing them precepts out. What? That's what else you think about? Like that's Yahushua what? Getting that wheat. You know, making that separation, separating you from the good and the bad. You know.
Yahushua Shai, the creator. And you know about art, you know, when you create a sculpture, you know, they're cutting out the sculpture and everything else that's falling off of it and around it, they discard it. You know, so that sculpture that's being cut out, that's the main point. That's why Yahushua Shai he cuts us out and brings us out of that shit, because everything else is to be discarded via what? The thermonuclear missile.
This is Matthew 10:36. It says, and a man foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Why? Because if you love your father and mother more than your Yahushua Shai, even though you know the truth, you're gonna go with they say. You're like, I'm gonna go with you did. I'm gonna do. You know, you're gonna try to keep in good standings with them. So what? That means you're gonna capitulate with everything they got going on. You know. Cause what that'll lead you to get the MOTB, you know, cause what you ain't trying to offend, you ain't trying to go against, you know, you trying to stay in order and good graces, save face with all your family or the community with this evil and abominable nation, you know.
Also have you going back into the old man, you know, going back into the world, chasing different those philosophies of old. Going back into, you know, before you even came into basically being of the circumcised, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, yeah, you right back in the world doing exactly what the world will do. You know, those who won't even call him upon the name of Yahushua Shai. You know, you back celebrating birthdays, Christmas, and all that shit. And not only that, shit, before you know it, you're right back in church. You know what I'm saying? So.
Baptized.
Yeah. So I'm a new creature.
That nigga talking old boy. Came back. They talking vocab.
He said he got baptized 4 months ago because John told him to.
So you came from one west.
To the OA.
Yeah. Harvard God wants something.
We went west making it food.
Nigga was at one west and got baptized in 2026.
30 years, nigga.
Fuck you go way back there for, man.
You're wasting time.
But not being separate from the world. And you look at the apostles and elders, those are men that have been separated from the world 40 plus years, 35 plus years. You see, Jake don't be separate from the world, so it's easy for them. But that's a political move. You know, he was trying to please somebody. You know. You come from one west, and then you get baptized.
Yeah, one of them that lost patience.
You trying to please somebody, man. And that don't make logical sense. You see, then he's still trying to act like he's some deep teacher, and it don't make logical sense. But it goes with not being separate from this world, man. You know, you're easily influenced by this world. If you don't separate from this world, you're gonna be easily influenced by this world. You know?
James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Yeah, so a nigga that call himself a Hebrew Israelite, but then go get baptized in the Christian church. You can't nothing he says is valid. You know, that's that you lose all credibility. Okay? When you do two contradicting things at the same time, okay, there's no way, all right, that you can be looked at as credible, man. You know, so they say that a nigga like that ain't got nothing to say. You see? Yeah.
I got a precept, brother.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
Woe to you that lost patience. Woe me destruction. And all you got that came to the camp, they fell out, they got weak, they fell out, some crazy shit, bullshit, whatever. And this we talking about this old ass nigga. I ain't expect opium like that now. But they got here, came back, he baptized now. Because I guess everything that wouldn't work on his time. You know, and it was warning to you that lost patience, man. So you couldn't thug it out like you couldn't thug it out. And the apostles, man, 30, 40 years in the truth, man. And they constantly still going, still putting up videos, still on the highways and byways. They still doing it, man. They ain't lost patience, man. They believe in Yahweh Shah, so they continue what they're doing though. But if you old ass nigga like this, now you're gonna get baptized when you maybe 50, 60 years. I don't know how old a nigga is anyway, but I'm saying though, we're gonna get baptized in the Christian church. What do you lost patience, man? The destruction to you, man. Mm-hmm. So Lord gonna visit you. Now you trying to come against the apostles. Lord gonna deal with y'all, man. All right, Lord gonna show you that basically you shit on him. And basically you did. You shitted on him. You turn your back on him. So Lord gonna turn it back on y'all, man. So it's destruction to y'all, man. All right, but it's all I got.
I got quick because I've been doing a little research going to. It's gonna be a lesson. Our brothers I do it, but it going into like who's supposed to be the father of each of the Christian denominational churches. And when you go into it, basically it was each nigga who was cut by something in the scripture. He came up with his own denomination because he didn't like something that was in the precepts. Ultimately, I bring that out to like what you saying, Zaquan. We are the same thing nowadays. The Lord has given us His truth via the apostles and elders of GMS. But niggas get hurt by certain pieces, and now you gone way left. You know, you gone way off, and you want to try to do your own thing because you're hurt ultimately by what Yahweh Shem Shai is saying.
Mm-hmm. And the apostle say something. I mean, they're doing through the scriptures. All right. That's it. They're not trying to lead down to the wrong path, but you getting your feelings. Then you want to come against the Lord. You want to change the names. You want to do this. You want to do that. They telling lies. You trying to blame them for something they ain't had nothing to do. Come on, man, that's on y'all. And really, the Lord just kick you out of it. To be honest with you, the Lord done it. So you be mad. I'm mad. Apostle, be mad at the Lord. You think the Lord give a fuck that you mad at him? He don't give a flying fuck you mad at him. Because guess what? This is will. You doing what he wants you to do. And that's the end of the day. All right? That's it. Go ahead, bro.
God.
This is Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Weight goes into anything, you know, anything holding you back. Hindrance. And you holding you down, like what? Concerns of this world. You know, you trying to make it in this world. Now, I ain't trying to say, you know, brothers that got something going on, got business and stuff, but they sold their heart. It's not in it. You know, it's something they just doing. You know, but they can go into like, you know, just the cares of this world. You know, the cares of this world.
It don't stop you from tapping into your full potential. Because it's a line when your personal thing starts to interfere with your duty to Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's the fucking problem.
Yeah, it's a line, and the Spirit lets you know that you're gonna be convicted. You know, speaking from experience, you're gonna be evicted when your person starts to bleed into your duty, your obligations with Yahweh Shem Shai. So each brother different, because some brothers can handle it a little more, you know. But according to your portion, you gotta understand, like, okay, this was what expected me in the spirit. I know I gotta do this, my person, to keep my thing going. So everybody gotta find that balance of what that is. But see, things close to you can become a hindrance, you know, because it ain't that the job wicked, but you giving too much time to that motherfucker. Now that's a problem. Your woman ain't gotta be wicked, but you could be laid up too goddamn much. Now that's a problem. So as servants of Yahweh Shai, we really gotta gauge what we in the spirit. Is we in a place to grow? Is we growing? Is we expanding? And am I able to feel my obligations? You know, because one thing about the truth. That's another thing. If you don't grow, what happens? And the brother talking about the garden.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't grow, shit, you die out. Mm-hmm. You see? So if you're not growing, by default, you're dying.
Mm.
You know? So that's why in the truth, going to examine yourself, you gotta check our posts. You know, you gotta step back and see, you know, and see, okay, damn. You look at understanding, you look at the body of work, you look at how you are with the brothers, you look at all those things, man. You look at how you react to situations. All that is an indicator of growth. You know, what you call it, working the steel plant, we went to production, they used to have these charts called KPI charts, meant for key performance indicators, and just show different categories, and you can see month to month, you know, whether you're growing, you know, where you're slacking at, you know, input, your output. So it's a key performance indicator. So you gauge everything off of it, you know, because if something gets too much, you got to scale back. You know, some things you got to scale back on, some things you got to cut off completely. You know, that's the sacrifice that's required. Because the main thing the Lord wants from us in this captivity is our time. You know, he want that time, he want that consistency, and then it's really just when you handle the Lord's business, you feel better when you do everything else.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like after you handle the Lord work, you like a relief off. You feel like, oh, now I can, you know, So once you, and that's why I like just a thing of the daily prioritizing. You know, because that's really us giving us. Because right now we don't have livestock that we offer. It's the old covenant. You see, as we under grace and we the priesthood, well, what's our first fruits? Our time. The first fruits of our time. The first fruits of our energy. He wants that first. The Lord don't want the leftovers. You done did everything you want to do. Then you stumble in there and try to throw it. No, the Lord wants your first fruits. He wants your first energy, the first time. That's the first fruits that we offer today as priests. That's what we're offering to Yahweh Shema Shai, our first fruits. We're going to give him that priority, that first priority, that peak priority. Everything else come out. You know?
And when you do you done the Lord work, man, you feel good. I know I feel good. So feeling like I feel good, man. I'm going to get done. Man, I done the Lord work, man. Hey, I'm good, bro. I feel better, though.
Say where you feel light.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. You feel better when I get done the Lord's work, man.
I got this for you because I did a lesson going into that. It talks about the lay aside every weight. It said, this is what it said. It says, just to sum it all up, weight is simply things that hold us back and keeping us from moving forward in the direction or the purpose in which the Most High has planned for us. So anything that, like the Quran said, you know what it is, because as soon as it comes, it start to contradict. You know, it start to get in the middle of you serving Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's the Lord telling you, I need that.
Conflict.
Like, conflict. It's the Lord saying, I need that though. Like, just go on, give it to me. Like, that's what I need. But we gotta see that when, like, okay, cool. It's becoming a point, like, what I was getting into, like, there are certain people I have love for. But if it gets to a point where that interferes with serving Yahweh Shema Shai, then that's a no-brainer to a point where, okay, this here has to go.
Hey, man, that nigga Taz said, why behave?
That's how I'm looking at it, bro. I got to figure that shit out.
She said, why behave? But this is the mindset of our people, though, you know? And this is going to be that separation, too.
Talking about obedience.
Yeah, the obedience,
I got to figure that shit out, bro. You say that,
if I may add, because that's a battle. It's a battle. Time is to allocate time is a battle because what? Esau wants your time. Yahweh Shai wants your time. You got to allocate time. Because because whatever you put your time in, that's what you paying your attention to. You know? That's what you put your attention to. You know?
Yeah, that's why on the celebrity part of the attention, that's like that nigga Mayweather. That money hungry ass nigga right there. And that's why the Lord gonna do him so damn bad. But I ain't trying to throw him in him, I'm saying, but you talking about, but that's what you're talking about. He put his money, but that's all you talking about. That's all you talking about.
Your heartbeat.
Money. I got all these watches, this and this and this. And
We
that's why
said
you
we
gonna
your
do all
money
of it.
be. No,
Yeah, I'm saying. So I'm glad you
no, we
niggas
your treasure is.
so big and you trying to make all this money. Guess what? When this shit crash, you gonna be just like a regular motherfucker. All right, exactly you gonna be.
Them niggas like that gonna be the first one in line.
Yeah, that nigga right there, man.
The one who got all that money, and the money is what make them cool. So you say wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart be also. So
that nigga right there, bro. I'm sorry to
y'all who treasure all of this stuff that's going on, you treasure your cars, your houses, you know, all of this shit. As soon as Esau know that shit, so as soon as he snatched that shit away, you motherfucker gonna be the first one in line thinking you finna get all that shit back because that was you treasure. But those of us who know who the spirit has been on us, our righteous are we stay in the spirit, we know that our treasure is in Yahweh Shema Shai. And that going that way with Esau, we don't get to our treasure that way. You know?
I want to learn that because every activity has energy. You allocate energy to it, you know. Now in the world, they call mental energy psychic energy, right? It's like, have y'all ever, you study, if you draw, you just sitting there, but if you put your mind to it for a good amount of time, you're gonna be tired like you worked that. Well, you put your energy towards it, And as a brother saying, you can get that first fruit, that first energy to you. How about Shema because this devil want all that energy, The devil want all that energy. He want all your attention on him, on your flesh, or what? So he can have you,
Yeah, cuz I think one of the brothers they got a page called Spiritual Workouts too. Yeah, I think so. I think the brother's always in front of the dentist's office or with the brother with the braids. Get his name.
The spirit, you said that it's spiritual workout. So in order to work something out, you gotta exercise.
Absolutely.
If you're not consistent, then you're not gonna see no growth in anything. If you're not consistent with a diet, you're not consistent in saving money, you're not consistent in working out, you're not gonna see any results. So one thing about this truth, if you look at over the years, brothers' progression, they all started somewhere, they progressed to where they is. You see, you can go back and see brothers' progression to where they are now. Because why? They kept being consistent. They kept doing the spiritual bench pressing. See, and then the thing about discipline, because motivation is fleeting. It come and it go.
Mm-hmm.
But discipline is no. That's when you see consistency with discipline. Without discipline, ain't no consistency. Motivation, you're gonna be here, there, sometime, hit, back. That's why you see you get motivated to work out. Okay, they don't get no results. But you see the people that discipline, certain people you can set your clock about, okay, it's about time you come to the gym. You can set your clock on it. You can set your clock about, okay, he gonna run the track about 4 o'clock every morning. He on the track. That's that discipline. You see, because I say motivation come and go. And you go into your house shop, read it.
Yeah, this is verse 2, Hebrews 12:2. It says, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith.
Yeah, the author and finisher. You go into author, you go into a pioneer. And you look at how Yahweh Shai lived, he was extremely disciplined. You see, you gotta think about it. He was in Rome with spiritual powers. He could have been the biggest celebrity ever. He could have been on. He could have been popular. But it was the discipline because he had an assignment. Because he understood it was bigger than him. He understood. See, that's another thing. We come into the understanding like, Howard Shah gave me an assignment. You gotta be serious about the assignment. Because the thing about it, the serious we are with this assignment, that's how Yahweh Shah take us. And we pity pat with it, Yahweh Shah like, you don't really fuck with him like that. He don't fuck with you like that. As serious as we take him, that's how serious he gonna take us. And Yahweh Shah, he was serious about the will of the Father. Because it wasn't unlawful for him not to have a family, but he knew how important his assignment was. You see? So he had to activate discipline. Because what? Adam didn't have discipline. King Solomon didn't have discipline. Yahushua had discipline. That was the difference maker.
Because like he knew if he had this is gonna take this and this and that. So
he couldn't afford to fumble.
Yeah.
Yahushua, the stakes was high. Yeah. This the highest stakes ever. You know? Because he got to do this to get these people right, beginning with the elect. And see, we're coming his stead because he said he's the author and finisher. Because when he comes, we're not gonna have to have faith anymore. We're gonna be on church. We ain't gonna have to have faith. We're gonna be living it. You see? Yeah. But the author goes back to what the pioneer. He gave us the blueprint for how serious to take this, man.
This is my beloved son, whom I will please.
And we want that same stamp. In the kingdom, the elect men, they're gonna have that same stamp. Because first it started with, this is my beloved son, who I'm well pleased. But in the kingdom, it's gonna be, these are my beloved sons. And he gonna show to the world who I'm well pleased. Come on, what? If they don't get you up, and going, ain't nothing will. If the promises and the chance to reign with Yahushua don't get you up and going, nothing else will. You got it, bro.
It is back in verse 2, it says, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
Yep, the joy that was set before him. Because he understood that his people was going to be back on top at the end of this thing. And the Lord was going to grant him the authority to come and rescue us from this captivity. You see, Yahushua understood that he had to be that sacrifice in order for him to be that savior in these times. You know, because he understood what we still had to go through as a people, but he knew in the latter end that sacrifice was going to pay off. Because guess what? The reason why we're the elect, we're going to be pardoned, is because of Yahushua took that torturous death, man. That was a torturous death. Think about it. Yahushua, when you go in the Psalms, it said he can tell his bones, which means he can look down on the cross and see it real, man. That's how much skin they beat off of him. So you gotta really understand, like, now Yahushua really went out there for his people, man, beginning with the elect. So we in our day-to-day, what excuse can we make? When you think about what Yahushua went through, what the hell excuse can we make? We got it easy as hell. Babylon comfortable as hell. You know, brothers be complaining, but Babylon comfortable as a motherfucker, man. Because really the thing is not to get too comfortable. You really got the real fight not to get too comfortable in this motherfucker. So it ain't like we on some rigorous, like Apostle Paul was shipwrecked. You know, look at his missionaries and the journeys Apostle Paul had to go through, man. Wasn't no 911. Like when he going on journeys, like they can come, hey, people, you got thieves just waiting on the trails just to rob people, and, you know. And Apostle Paul went into that. No, he was shipwrecked. When
they're trying to, they're gonna kill him.
Yeah, he had to sneak out to sea.
They're
not gonna eat.
Until they kill him.
Eat. Yeah. So think about it. You ain't, who got that pressure on them like that? You know,
I gotta eat.
Who got that type of pressure to what men have made a pact to say they're not gonna eat till they kill Apostle Paul? So who's walking around with that type of pressure? Nobody. Okay. We got Prime, Netflix. Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
You know what I'm saying?
DoorDash.
Bitch, yeah. Comfortable in the motherfucker, man. So what excuse can we really make when it comes to serving? How about you now, shot? You got it, bro.
No excuse. No excuse. Do what the Lord requires to do, man. Do what the Lord requires you to do. That's it. That's all you ask for. That's it, though. And like my precept, I love think about when Yahushua told Peter, feed my sheep. And that's something constant thing about every day. Feed his sheep. That's it. And that's all he requires you to do. He ain't tell you jump hoops and all that. He ain't tell you do all that though. Just feed his sheep. That's it.
and he made it easy. Look at you got all type of news apps, all type of alternative news. You got the Bible, Blue Letter Bible.
Yeah.
You got the AI. Hell, we probably done hacked AI. You see, you got everything that make it convenient for us to serve in these times, man. The Lord made it easy for us to put on for Him. He did the hard part. That's why I said He endured the cross. That was the hard part. That was the hardest part of the mission. How Shai already did it. You know? So we just coming up playing cleanup duty, man.
You can't get on 5-10 minutes of your time. 5-10 minutes of your time. 15, 20. You can't do that for the Lord, man. And what He did for these people, you can't take that shit lightly. What He did for these people, so let though. You can't take this lightly though. 5-10 minutes. You can't do that, man. Something wrong with you, man. If you got something that you so into, instead of serving the Lord, something wrong. You gotta check yourself, man.
You go down with this.
And guess what? I gotta check myself too.
Yeah.
If I'm doing same shit, I gotta check myself too. I'm not just talking about in it. I gotta check myself too, though. So if you're doing something, you can't get a little fucking 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your fucking time. You gotta fucking check yourself, man. It ain't right. You can't take that shit lightly, man. He died for the Lord's people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, man. The Lord's people, man. Without Him, we ain't shit. So we need Him. We need the Lord, man. Shit, He's talking about a roll on our people. You gonna need the Lord. You gonna need Him more than anything. All right. So for you to bullshit around, tap dough around, man. Come on. It's not time for that, man.
That's a beautiful point.
Hey, it's this time, bro.
Hey, cause like you said, what we finna go through now. Imagine if in Jacob's trouble, the Lord give you the same attention you gave Him.
Oh.
Dang.
and
About that.
you get look this one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I see. I'm gonna help you today, but I see you in 2 weeks. You're on your own for these next 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you today, but I'll get back to you next 2 weeks. Nah, man.
Yeah.
You see? So,
Yeah.
it's a privilege, man. It's an honor. You know?
That's a bad feeling, bro.
Like you say, every day. And then the thing is, like you say, here the Lord that gave us the grace period. What the Scripture say was seek Him 10 times more. Because the Lord gave us the privilege to come back. It's a privilege. We ain't made it like, so we still, like the apostles say, the apostles say they ain't made it yet. Like you say, and this thing make you fear, because you think about what Yahushua went through, because you had those moments in the flesh, but then you think about Yahushua, man, like, man, you get your ass up, man. You know? All this crying and power, you know?
I'm gonna tell you too, in that cup He went through. And guess what? We gonna the cup the Lord gave us, we're gonna drink the cup. All right. The cup Lord gave us, we gotta drink that shit, bro. We don't have to. Like, don't throw you how shot and throw you out. And this any other way? No. He had to do it though. And we gotta do it too. The situation we got, Lord got us, we're not supposed to, we gotta do it. For you to give up, to bullshit around, to not take this lightly, this is a big thing that we have, bro. To know Yahushua, to know His secrets, what He gave us, and know the names. The names are very important. And you want to think this is mediocre, you think this ain't, bro. This not like it, man. This is a big thing that we know the Lord, man. A lot of us can't get this. You talk to somebody, you know, this, and this. I just don't get it. It's not like that, man. So appreciate the Lord, what you got, bro. Appreciate it. All right.
If I made it real quick. Yeah, like the brother saying is, hey, to know that Yahushua had all this power, that He could have just, did whatever then, but He still endured the cross. How much more, in these times when you got the pride of men, like, shit, they ain't gotta just, they ain't gotta do what Yahushua or recommend. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gotta take up the cross. So yeah, man, yeah. How much more? Hey, yeah, Yahushua gave us commands. Like, hey, we gonna suffer as Him, being a follower of Him.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so yeah, that was brother saying, man. Yeah, it says who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High.
Yeah, he despised the shame. You know, he didn't care about the opinions of the outside world. They didn't matter. You know, Yahushua was the definition of being locked in. Because he had that power, but he still took that cross. You know, he had no ego. And see, going back to like you said, Yahushua, he didn't have a family, but he don't require us not to have no family. We still got families. Yeah. So he don't even require the rigidness that he had to go through. He don't even require that. Yeah. But he does require them first. He does require him being prioritized. Like you gonna like it's people. If you work for a certain job, y'all know people like a surgeon. When a surgeon get that call, he leaving birthday parties. Yep. He leaving goddamn anniversaries, whatever it is. And when he get that page, he out of there. So we gotta take Yahushua serious than the most essential profession in the world. We gotta take Yahushua more serious than that. You know, but hey, you might sometimes you be watching the movie like, damn, that's a video. You might only even finish the movie because El Apostle Ariel said, "What strike while the iron hot?" Mm-hmm. You know, see some news pop up like, oh, news flash. Don't handle it. You see, but that's what you have a shot required, man. That's why Apostle John, John said, he must increase. John the Baptist said he must
decrease.
I must decrease and he must increase. So the more we in this thing, the more Yahushua supposed to increase in our life. To where his interest is our interest now. Our little interest in the background. You know? It really don't even matter. You got it.
It says, verse 3, for consider him that endured such contradictions of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds.
Yeah, faint in your mind. See, and that's another thing. Serving Yahushua give us strength. Like when you tap in with Yahushua to give you strength, it gives you clarity. You see? Chaos, the further you get away from Yahushua, the more chaotic life is. Yeah. Speaking from the spirit. You know, like when you not tapped in with Yahushua, it seems like everything else gets chaotic. But then you start going to Yahushua, it's like he calmed the storm.
Yeah, let me simple.
Yeah, he calmed the storm. You see? And then even the things that we do go through, he be right there. Carry us right through that shit. Keep it moving. You see? You got it, bro.
Verse 4 says, ye have not yet resisted unto blood.
Yeah, we haven't resisted unto blood. Like I say, we still comfortable about it. You see? Central air, heat. You see? Comfortable as hell, man. Big 70, 90-inch TV.
Goddamn ice water.
Ice
in the summer.
Yeah. Mineral water.
Yeah.
You know, parfaits and brunch and shit. You got it.
It says, striving against sin, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaking unto you as unto children.
Yep.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when ye are rebuked of him.
Yep. So the chastening, it said, despise not the chastening of the Lord. You know, because the Lord, what he does with his men, okay, he'll put them in situations that's intense. Like shit is intense.
Going through that earlier, coming down that furnace.
Yeah, that furnace. Yeah. But he purifying us, man. Because the only way to get that heat off, you gotta go through that whole process. Because if you try to find the escape route out the fire, then
you still got them impurities.
Yeah, you still got them impurities.
And they carry that heat.
Yep. So you gotta go through whatever process the Lord got us going. But see, the thing is to stay consistent. No matter what the chastisement is, we still got our office in this thing. That's the thing. Because we're gonna go through different things, but we still got our office, no matter what we go through. Divorces, loss of children, loss of job, this, that, whatever. Guess what? Yahushua still needs first fruit. He don't look. Yahushua, that's why I say when he came and inquired of those talents, okay, Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Luke 19. And let's get 11. Yes, some more.
Now, verse 6 it says, "For whom the Lord loved, he chastened and scourged every son whom he received."
Yeah, so the fact that the Lord even dealing with us is love. The fact that he allow us to be out here, the fact that he allow us to have this understanding, that's love. That's the love of the Father. You know, and like I say, this is a very rare thing. You see, out of all these people in the state of Mississippi, you know, you got the few brothers on the coast, and you got these brothers up here in the whole state.
Bro, that's
How rare is that? You see? So nah, man, this ain't no mediocre. No, Yahweh Shai want us to really be tapped in, man. You got it, bro. Yes.
This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Yahweh Shai said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind."
Yep. So if that's the mindset, and all thy soul and all thy mind, okay. What you need?
You told me,
okay, yeah, you know the other one. Oh yeah. So loving the Most High with all our soul, with all our heart, with all our mind. Okay, by default, that's gonna be priority, man. You know, when we wake up in the morning, pleasing Him is the first thing on our mind. Throughout the rest of the day, pleasing the Lord. What can I do? You constantly in the mindset of how can I make myself better for the Lord? Don't you want your woman in that mindset? Mm-hmm. Think about it. What if your woman treated you like that? Sparingly as hell. Nah, man, you want your woman to be in the mindset of what can I do? You don't want to have to, do you want to have to tell your woman everything to do for you? No, you want her picking up on how you move and adjusting accordingly. You don't want to have to sit and explain to her everything that you need to know. She needs to be looking and observing and be bet. And it's already boom, boom, boom. That's how the Lord wants us. He doesn't want to sit here to tell us A, B, C, D. No, we should be observing. We should be proactive, okay? And making it happen. I already got things laid out for them. When you wake up, you want your coffee, your tea, whatever, before you get your day started. You want your clothes ironed, your socks out, your belt. You want all that already out. So how you think the Lord wanted? You see? You got it, bro.
Verse 38. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like unto it.
Yep.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yeah, see, loving thy neighbor, see, when you go into loving thy neighbor, see, it's easier to spend money on somebody than sacrifice your personal time. You see? Your personal time, see, that's what's more precious to you than even money. See, because loving your neighbor ain't just charity, what you doing for them. Loving your neighbor is in your personal time. All right, you getting into this. Because guess what? This is the best gift you can give somebody is the understanding of His word. This is the best thing you can give somebody. This is way beyond money.
No comparison.
Yeah, so when you get understanding and when you get the understanding in this and you pass this understanding on, that's more precious than money. The apostles ain't gave us a single dollar, but they gave us a lot of understanding, and they constantly feeding us on understanding that's keeping us on point. You know, they don't have to give us a single dollar. Now the apostle had came and done for us down here. You know, the apostle Ariam La, the apostle Cobb. You know, they some very charitable men, but beyond anything monetarily, they've been given their life. That's more valuable than the dollar. They've been giving their life to this. You see? It goes way beyond money. That's why scripture call this the work and labor of love. So we saying love thy neighbor. It ain't just the people in the world do that. Buy each other gifts. But who's taking out their personal time to tap into this so they can give back understanding? Who's doing that? That's the highest form of brotherly love. Go ahead.
Verse 40. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
On these 2 commandments, because within these 2 commandments, we're keeping all the law that we can keep. When you go into the mindset with them 2 commandments, because if you love the Most High God of the heart, you're not going to worship other gods. Okay, you're not going to participate in idolatry. Okay, if you love thy neighbor as thyself, and that's a law. No God before me, idols, them 2 laws. Then you go into loving thy neighbor. You're not going to steal from your neighbor. You're not going to commit adultery.
Right.
You're not going to murder. You're not going to bear false witness.
Right.
You know, we don't have livestock, but if a brother loses his wallet, you're going to give it back. Like you had to return your brother's cattle if he went straying off his land. Okay. So those 2 right there, that mindset, it puts us by default, we begin to keep the law to the best of our ability. You know, we keep the laws that we can keep just off that. And then the kingdom, because when you go into the law itself is based off love. You know, the whole law is based off love. Even the laws that put people to death is based off love. You know, I said I had a stubborn son. Okay, that nigga didn't want to get right at a certain age. Hey, we take this nigga to the elders and put him to death out of love for the nation. But I don't want this nigga getting none of my brother's daughters pregnant. I know this nigga ain't shit. You know,
issue.
Yeah, so no, out of love for these men and the rest of the nation, nigga, you got to go. Nigga, you got to default. What that shit, a recall? Yeah, you got
Turn the center.
Yeah, you got a recall. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, can I get that for you?
I
got that look for I got a quick one for you. Go ahead. We go into how basically this is our priority. This is Matthew 6, 33 and 34. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
So seeking the Lord, that's a daily thing. You know, seeking the Lord, you got tapping in. You gotta grind with this, man. This is a grind, it's a labor. You know, this is why the scriptures speak about, because when you go, this is why the scriptures compare this labor to, you know, a husbandman. You know, anything about agriculture, that's laborious work. It's tedious. You know, that's a tedious profession when you talk about agriculture, man. You see, even when you go to watchmen, the watchmen not only sit on the tower, watchmen, you had certain watchmen that would walk through the city, patrolling the city, making sure everything was on point in the city. You know? And that's why you got brothers on YouTube, like they patrolling YouTube, checking shit, calling shit out. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
They're going back into the agriculture too, yeah. So you gotta watch out for them plants. You know, you like your food.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure the weeds ain't there, the bugs, you know. You want to that boar, that vine boar.
Yeah. You
know, gonna kill your plants off, suffocate them, whatnot.
You got it, because guess what? Like Israel is the vineyard. You know, real quick, get Isaiah 5 and 7. Real quick. You stay where you at. You had some more to read down.
Yeah, one more.
I got something.
This is Isaiah 5 and 7.
Yep.
For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel.
The vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. And going back to like the brother said, the vineyard. When you give an understanding, you're putting the hedge around Israel's mind so they don't go for the bullshit. You pruning it, you're cutting bullshit off, you're pulling out weeds, false doctrines. You know, like they need that. Israel needs to hear the correct doctrine on this. Like this nigga saying this, what's the correct doctrine? You pulling out weeds. You see? So if the elect are like a vineyard, and he paid us to go into the vineyard. You see? Because imagine you got somebody on payroll, but they work when they want to.
Motherfucker work me that way.
Yeah. You on payroll, but you work now, man. You want somebody active. So going back to the vineyard, if you don't go to the vineyard for 10 days, 3 weeks, if you don't go to the vineyard, it's over.
You don't get no harvest.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
That's why you got to tend to the sheep. You got to tend to the sheep. If you put no videos out, if you not doing what you need to do, you're not tending sheep. Hey, they done. They don't know the hell going on.
And Jake don't sleep. You can do a video at 3 in the morning, a live stream. Somebody go pop in there. Like damn,
somebody go pop.
Yeah.
They also go into that withering away.
Yeah.
That true vine.
Jake be on. What's it? How Shy say? What's they give you real quick? Matthew 9:36.
It's the book of Matthew 9 and verse 36.
Yeah.
It reads but when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them.
Yep.
Because they fainted.
Yep.
And were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
And you look at our people as sheep with no shepherd. Jake don't know. So the Lord gave us this understanding. Because like even though like we were saying earlier, we ain't gotta go to the hood, but this message gonna reach who it's supposed to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because the more we teach, the more we put in the spirit of Yahweh Shai in the earth. The more we put in the spirit of Yahweh Shai on the elect, those that's meant to get it, they're getting watered. I say going back to the garden, you gotta water that thing. Because this America dry. America's a desert.
Mm.
So when you got bad soil, you gotta work extra to get the crop off, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Go ahead.
It says, verse 37, then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous,
yep.
But the laborers are few.
The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So you got Jake ready to hear. I would say you got Jake in the YouTube world that's ready to hear this word. You got new believers every day, and you should. And it's like a mindset. You got to think about it. If you got to think of from a perspective of when you didn't know the truth,
mm-hmm.
And let's just say, you find a brother, and this your first brother that you listening to, but then this brother ain't consistent. Like damn. But then you gotta think about it. You gotta have the mindset. If somebody come to my page, I want to have it laid out for them. I'm gonna touch on this. I'm gonna touch on this. I'm gonna touch on this. For somebody that might be just first waking up, you might just be the first challenge they come across. You their introduction to the truth. So you want to be what? A representative. You want to see, okay, on consistency, because you come in with what all these questions. So the best of our ability, according to our lot, you just want to try to supply. You gotta treat it like a true business. That's why Yahweh Shai went into the thing like talents. He gave you talents. You gotta treat this thing like a business. To where you want to have a product out there to where Jake can come and be edified. You see, because that's what it's about, edification. You see, because another Israelite man edified, you just really woke up a nation. Because then what the scriptures say? A little one shall become a thousand, a small one a strong nation. Because you can say, oh, I only got 3 people watching me. Wait, those 3 Israelite men, the prophet say he gonna become 1,000 or a nation. So you gotta think like that. Damn the views on this side and on all the clout and being no. If you got 3-4 people watching you consistently, them Israelite men, you see, that's powerful, man. And there's a great reward for that. You got to go.
There's verse 38. It says, "Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest."
That he will send forth laborers, man. So we've been tasked to labor. The Lord wants us to labor. And then, like I say, what else is it to do? What the hell else is it to do at this point, man? Okay? Babylon played out. America played out. You see? Then in our day-to-day, I like whack. We ain't got nothing great going on. You see? What type of ambition do we have in this world, man? That's really, the Lord wants us to become more dead to this and more alive in Yahweh Shai, man. A lively hope. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting like you said, like the 2-3 videos, bro, and it really don't matter. And I'm gonna bring the free step out, like I said, man. Long like I said, Lord was saying, like, long you doing what the Lord require you to do, man. And guess what the Lord said? And at the end of the day, the Lord said, all right. This is our 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable.
Shalom.
Always abounding in the work of Yahweh Shai. But much as you know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Shai.
Get that word abounding in the book of 1 Corinthians 58. Let's get that word abounding.
Like I said, but it really don't matter. 2, 3 beers, 4, 5 beers, you give up. The Lord know you. Lord see you doing what you do. Lord, why you do? You do what you do, man. So guess what? It's not going in vain. I said you might get 2 videos, 2 views, or whatever, 3 views. Guess what? You might woke up a brother. Yeah. So that matters in the eyes of Yahweh Shai.
Strong. Might be a brother in his family.
That's what I'm saying. So it really don't matter. As long as you're doing what the Lord requires you to do, man, it's not going in vain. All right. It's not just I'm gonna do it just to do it. No, man. Hey, the Lord's gonna reward you for this, man. Think about that, man. The Lord got you. Right?
Damn.
At all.
Look on that nigga face, guys.
And this word abounding goes into the Greek word hetesuo. If I'm not mistaken, that goes into like persistent.
Probably so.
Yes, it says to exceed a fixed number of measure.
To exceed a fixed number of measure. Go ahead.
It says to be left over and above a certain number of measure.
Go ahead.
To be over.
To be over. Go ahead.
To remain.
To remain. So it means to go over and beyond. What to say? Because look at the shit we went above and beyond in the world for. That's another thing that used to condemn me a lot. I think of the shit that I went above and beyond in the world for. I can't do that for you, Yahweh Shai. Look at the shit we went above and beyond. Look at the people we went above and beyond for in the world. But then when it comes to abounding for Yahweh Shai, then it's, no, man. I used to be condemned. And that's one thing. Like, because the thing cut, because you do it for a bitch. Yeah. You got that goddamn, they call back and they text back, gone. You gonna make that shit happen out of here. Yeah. Pull up that bitch on fumes.
Like run that game.
Another niggas out, them niggas who ride bikes from West Jackson to South Jackson.
Me and Jacob riding on rollers, boy.
Yeah. So you think about it. So it's like you do it for a bitch, but then when it comes to your house side, feet dragging. Nah, man.
I'm gonna say this too, and it is. Go, you got some more. I'm gonna say.
Now I got the word persistent in the
book. Yeah, it say abounding. Always, what's it? Always let's see. Read it back over.
It says basically it says
no, I didn't read the precept.
It was the precept.
You
got the precept.
It's the top of the
I think it was a different PLC one.
Basically, I'm trying to get the point, like saying
exceeded and abounded.
Always.
I got you. This
you go ahead, bro.
This is I think this was one. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58.
Yeah.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
That's it. Always abounding in the work of Yahweh Shai, man. Always be active. All right. Stay active. Watch the video. Read.
Pray.
Talk to her. Pray. Do what you gotta do to stay involved. If you don't stay involved, that's how if you don't stay involved, especially start dealing with the word of people, you start going to the world and start in the word of Yahweh Shai. So you got to stay active, man. You got to. You're not. You go back on the block. Doing what you're supposed to do. So stay involved, man. This work is going. It's not going nowhere. The Lord see you, man. All right. Cause that's something I had to work on. I was like, man, I ain't gonna do this video. When I first started, I'm doing the video. I ain't getting no views, man. That's what I thought. But guess what? Kept on going. Kept on fighting. Kept on doing the videos, man. So what you got to do, man? Keep pushing. Keep fighting for the Lord, man. He always come through for you. All right. That's all that, bro.
I got one of the words real quick. One of the words of abounding in the Google, not the Google, this is the blue letter, is to increase. So to exceed, to excel, to increase, to remain. And in Google, it says to be persistent is to continue to do something or existing for a long time.
Like you want a bad bitch? Hey, guess what? You constantly testing them. What you doing? How you doing? What's up? What I'm saying? But then you persist. That's what I'm saying.
Your whole mind, you be adjusting your whole schedule, trying to accommodate her shit. So you gotta really. I said they used to cut me. Like think about how we was with the women in the world. Yeah. And it's like they only come to your house shy, you know. Oh man.
It says especially despite difficulties or opposition.
Especially despite difficulties or opposition, man, because that's gonna come.
Or repeated interruptions.
Repeated interruptions. You see? So when you go into abounding or you go into being persistent, all right, it's being persistent even when the circumstances ain't perfect. Yeah. If you wait for the perfect circumstance, no, you gotta make it. You gotta make the circumstance. This gonna get done. Something else gonna be slacking, but this gonna get done. That's the mindset we gotta be in. Because like I said, we waiting for the perfect circumstance, the perfect moment. Shit, be all over the place, man. You ain't gonna be consistent. You ain't gonna be increasing. You know, increase comes from consistency, man. Ain't no way around it. One thing about it, you can't cheat the truth. You know, it ain't no cheat option, man. You gonna get in what you put out. Get real quick. 2 Corinthians 9:6. You had something?
No.
Okay, get 2 Corinthians 9:6.
This is 2 Corinthians 9:6.
Yeah.
It says,
what's the end right here? Yo?
But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
So if you sow sparingly, you throw one seed out over here, one seed out over there, you're gonna reap sparingly. Simple math. Go ahead.
And he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
So you just sow it bountifully. You see? So if you sow bountifully, you're gonna reap bountifully. You know, whatever you put into reading, that's what you're gonna get out of it. Whatever you put into researching, that's what you're gonna get out of it. Whatever you put into fasting, that's what you're gonna get out of it. You know, whatever you put into fellowshipping, that's what you're gonna get out of it. So in every aspect of the truth, if you put a little in, you're gonna get a little out. You know, it's not a calculus equation. Simple. You put in a little, you're gonna get out a little. You put in more, you're gonna get out more. You put in a lot, you're gonna get out a lot. You know, and that sums up everything that the Lord got us on. You know, and every brother according to their own portion. But we all just want to maximize whatever our office is. Because we want Yahweh to say, job well done. Mm-hmm. You know, you really, because think about it, you really want to impress Yahweh.
Want to show out.
Like, boy, I thought you goddamn tell you, boy, you want Yahweh be like this, boy. I'm scared for a minute. Right? I know you done,
boy. I've been getting coming across that word. It's been hitting me lately. Pick me. You know, that pick me lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be that pick me in
your
house shot.
You want to make yourself an ass.
Yep.
Yeah, you want your house shot, be like, God, well done, boy, you did that shit, boy. That's what you want from your house, because you get that, you good forever. Once you get your house shot stamp, that's forever, that's for eternity. You know? Well, that goes off to putting off the mortal way of thinking and putting on the immortal. That's a mindset. Before we put off these mortal bodies and put on immortal bodies, we got to put off the mortal mindset and put on the immortal mindset. How Shah just gonna give us the bodies to match the mindset that we already, you know, growing in, man.
Like Apostle Paul slot, bro. Hey, I know how to be on base. Yeah. You know, and I'm content with all things, you know.
That work still gotta go out.
Gotta go out, come.
The load still gotta get out of here, man. With I'm 100 grand up, okay, or ramen noodles. It still got, hey, the show must go on. You see? So Lord will, you know, you brothers, all right, and you let the fire once again. again, give all praise and glory to
Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakadash.
the hundreds to the apostles and the elders here, who were people being very example for the brothers. Peace and blessings, salvation, hopefully, shalom.
Shalom.